So let's talk about people have been reaching out to me all the time. How does it help somebody who's in the industry for the last 5 years and they want to transition and, just shed some light around that area?
Yeah, I mean, so when it comes to careers in the cloud, right, careers in cloud computing, and I'll speak about it from an AWS perspective
Sure,
because
sure,
that's
absolutely.
that.
Let me rephrase
So
that.
yeah,
Let me rephrase that. How to become a AWS cloud architect or AWS cloud engineer?
yeah. So there's no silver bullet to it, right? Obviously,
Yes.
there's one and various different people, follow different paths to get to where they want to. And there are multiple destinations as well. The cloud has become a very vast topic in itself, right? And there's a lot of specializations in it too. And I think the first thing is to understand where you want to be. You kind of need to know what interests you and where the opportunity is, and what's the kind of opportunities that you want to work on, right? What's the kind of career opportunities and kind of projects that you want to work on, and what drives you, right? What are you passionate about? So and all, but sometimes you also need to look at what skill sets you already have and how can you build on top of it. So that's also another element, right? People look at all these various different aspects when they consider a career in the cloud. And as I said, there's multiple different things that you could do in the cloud, right? So we've seen, folks who are developers, they're bringing their, development experience and they become DevOps engineers on the cloud, or they actually develop applications on the cloud with serverless, you know, and using and some of the other capabilities that we have at AWS. We've seen, people who work with data and analytics, right? Bringing in some of that, the knowledge that they have, and then they specialize in that field when it comes to cloud. We've seen people who are infrastructure professionals. They're really good at networking. They're really good at, you know, storage and compute, and they bring that knowledge in, and they start adapting that knowledge and building on top of that knowledge so that they understand concepts like VPCs, how remote connectivity works in the cloud. How do you stitch together various networks? How do you connect it on-prem and all that, securing it again from a storage perspective, right? The different kinds of storage that we have in the cloud. It's a little different from on-prem. I mean, if you work with SAN and if you work with storage,
Yeah.
on-prem, yes, you can definitely bring some of that knowledge, but you kind of need to bring some of that gap and understand how S3 works and how, file systems work on the cloud, right? And how other storage services work on the cloud. So that is a bridge, and obviously you bring some of the knowledge that you already have, you bridge some of the gaps, and then you become experts on cloud technology. Thankfully, there's a lot of courses available, both from AWS and from third parties, right? You go to Udemy, you find a lot of courses, fantastic, instructors over there. And you also find a lot of AWS training and certification materials if you come to our website. And, there are courses and classroom net trainings that help you get to that. But my advice is also to kind of, look for those projects yourself, right? Learning things on a video and from a course is one thing. Yes, you build that theoretical knowledge. It might prepare you for a certification, an entry level certification or an associate level certification. But again, the concepts that you learn get firmly grounded and internalized when you actually apply them in real world use cases, right? So if you work for an organization that's making the first steps to the cloud, or they're already in the cloud in in a more advanced setting, I would encourage you to pursue those projects or to be part of those projects, right? Maybe it's a stretch engagement for you, right? Maybe you speak to your manager and, kind of get into one of those stretch projects where you're working with the cloud. That'll help you actually, put your learning into practice and see how those two meet, how real world situations influence your architectural decisions, for example. How do you optimize? How for cost? How do you secure, right? So you start applying slowly the things that you've learned in response to real world parameters. And I think that's really critical, right? So that's one of the advices that I give, in addition to just learning and reading about it and trying out things in your own sandbox. If there is an opportunity to actually be a part of a team that does something on the cloud, or launch your own pet project on the cloud too, right? That's fine as well. But do something hands on, as you get to the cloud.